Hello, dynamic stars. We are here today, and as you see, we are going to do the second part of the ancestor burning ritual. And the second part is, what do we do with the ashes after we burn them? So we're going to do just a quick refresher to do a little bit of joss paper and what it's all about. I'll link the original video below so that you can get a little bit more background on what it is we're doing. But of course, we have to have our vessel that, is not going to burn. I, of course, have my old handy pot holder. And then I have, cork board at the bottom just to give me some extra protection. Of course, your lighter. And of course, I have some incense going. That's 7 African powers. And I have my white candles going. This one is a rose candle, regular penny candle, a 7-day candle, which I always have. I have my fluorite, rose quartz, all of these things I'm just using because they help me. They set the stage, they set the mood, they bring me in alignment. I have my sweet mint, which I use to just clear the air. It helps to remove any obstacles, any negativity that might be hindering you from anything that you're doing at this moment in time. It contains Palo Santo as well as peppermint and some other things to invigorate you, to charge yourself, as well as the space around you while removing negativity. You actually could burn some Palo Santo so that you remove any negativity from your space as you work towards greeting your ancestors and giving them money, giving them ashe, giving them blessings, giving them power, giving them light. Water also is a good thing to have on the table. And I've run out of space here, as you see, so I don't have water at the moment here. It's not 100% necessary, but it is something that I generally like to do. But in this case, since I'm pretty much just discussing what we're doing with the ashes afterwards, don't necessarily have to have the water this time. Just to give you a quick refresher, we are burning joss paper, which is this kind of thing, and it says hell banknote, and that's because in the Chinese tradition, where the tradition of burning joss paper comes from, to the best of our knowledge, everyone goes to hell. No matter what, everybody goes to hell. And in that tradition, you have to go through the various levels of hell. I believe it's 33 levels of hell before you can go on to heaven. These are the various types of ancestor money in varying denominations, all the way up to billions. And once it is burned, the belief is this money reappears on the inner planes, on the other side, whatever you'd like to call it. And our ancestors, people who passed on, can use that money to now pay back any debts, pay anything that is holding them here to the physical plane, to the earth plane. And that is exactly what we're trying to do, help them to move forward. And I generally like burning ancestor money to the people that were part of the Atlantic slave crossing or the Atlantic crossing, which were, many times slaves, as well as others. There were other casualties, but of course we know about the Africans who did not make it, some who actually purposely chose not to make it because they did not want to go into that crazy unknown. So we can bless this money and by writing on it and sharing it with who we want to. We can give it to our direct bloodline. We can write on it, as we did before. You see? To known and unknown ancestors of the Atlantic crossing. This is to pay any debts, period. Karmic debts, financial debts, farming debts, sharecropping debts. You get the idea. Emotional debts. And then, you write from, and then you write your name or sign your full name. And then you can say, may God bless you, or Creator, whatever you're comfortable with. May God bless you always. Ashe. And then you fold it towards yourself 3 times. May God bless me. May God bless me. May God bless me. Then you light it. And you watch it burn. Okay. And many say if you see green, that means it's accepted. And there is definitely green in those flames. Wow, that one really, really, really went fast and burned bright. Ashe. Ashe to you. Okay. And you see? All the way down to its ashes. That one burned well. If you want to check and you see it doesn't look fully burned, you can literally just do that and finish burning it. All right, so now we have some ashes, right? What do we do now? Now we have to figure out where it goes. What do you mean figure out where it goes? It just goes in the garbage. That's what you say, right? Not necessarily. Sometimes our ancestors want the ashes in a certain place. Sometimes they can go in the garbage. Not always. Sometimes they can go in the dirt outside your home. Sometimes it needs to go in the dirt in a park. Sometimes it needs to go in the sand by the beach. Sometimes it needs to go in the ocean. Sometimes it needs to go in the river. Sometimes it needs to go by an all-way crossroad, meaning a road that intersects and they both go 2 ways. So that is a complete all-way. So sort of like if you're here in Brooklyn, like Atlantic Avenue, it goes both ways in both directions, crossing, well, that doesn't go. Can't even think of a place now. Oh, Lord. But you get what I'm saying. 2 streets that intersect, and both of those streets are 2-way streets. So that's an all-way. And that's sometimes a very good place because there's constant movement. And you have your north, south, east, west, the yin and the yang, the varying oppositions that are normal and natural in nature. And you want that because when you're releasing energy, there are protocols and methods to follow in order to appease the spirits and the energies that you're working with, and also to just do things properly. Like, all of the fast food restaurants have their own particular process in making their fries, their burgers, their food. This is the same thing, but it's different in that not everybody uses the same roadmap because different traditions have different protocols, just like different restaurants do. So this is why I say you have to ask your people, your ancestors, the people who passed on, what they most want. Because from your family line or that particular family line that you are working with, that you are helping, might have a particular way or a particular place that they want the ashes to go so that they can readily receive them. And in order to do that, we can use some coins. This is a very easy method. You can take 4 pennies. I got shiny bright ones. Over the flames. Into the incense to purify them. And I can again use some of my sweet mint. Again, a way to purify, to remove negativity and also negativity. Just using a word from the Yoruba tradition. Remove any negativity, issues, bad mind, energy that does not belong, to keep these pennies clean and pure so they can be a vessel to communicate with our ancestors, with spirit. Ache, 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 ache. And now you can use your pennies in any way that you see fit to ask yes, no questions. So really, really easily, if you have all heads, let me see if I can do that. Can you see that? If you have all heads, that is a lafia. That is the most positive yes you can get. If you have 2 up, 2 down, that is a yife, which is a very balanced yes. So there's that. And then if you have 3 up and 1 down, that is a no. So tails. So 3 tails and 1 head is no. And then if you have all tail, that's a hell no. And you just stop. Don't even continue the questioning at that point. Give them a quick snap, or you ask God to bless them, maybe refresh them with some water, or use some Florida water to cleanse and purify you, because the questionings you're asking, or the question you're asking, maybe you've gone off track, you're not quite listening, or not following the path that they want you to go down. So that all tails is back up, stop, reframe your question, rethink your question, maybe get still for a minute, tune back in, see if you can hear, and then try a different path. Don't try that one. All right. And if you get 3 heads and 1 tail, that's Itagua. And you have to throw again in the tradition that I follow so that you can get an actual yes or no. So if I throw 3 heads and 1 tail, I have to throw again to see what the actual answer is. And if I get 2 up, that's an Itagua Yife, and that is, yeah, with struggle or a maybe, but there's definitely something that you're not seeing. There's some clarity that still needs to be gained in order to get the fullness of the situation. So that is a quick overview of how to read, with the pennies. So we need to know, where are our ashes going to go? So right now, we just burned to the ancestors of the Atlantic crossing. Let's just see, can we throw them down the toilet? Okay. I got 3 tails and 1 head. Okay. 3 tails and 1 head. Can you see that? Yeah? All right. So that means no, cannot do that. Okaran. Can I take it into an all-way? Put it up one of the corners of an all-way. And I received 2 tails, 2 heads. Okay, you see that? 2 heads, 2 tails. Yep, that makes it worse. Okay, I think you can see that there. Yeah? That is Iyife. Very balanced, yes. So yes, it can go to an all-way. So at that point, you would take the ashes, put them in a little baggie, like I have here, and literally just let them go in. Don't want to mess up my table too much. You know how I like my table, guys. Just literally put it in there. And you can label it and remind yourself where they need to go. And this one is to an all way. I don't have a dark enough pen, but I wrote it in green. I will see all way. Yeah, not very clear, but you get the point. You can use a marker to keep it. And this way, you don't have to do it every single time right away, but you can bag them, label them, and when you get a decent amount, especially if you have to go like to the ocean or to the river or to the beach, you can now hold on to them and do it all at the same time so that, you're being as efficient with your time as possible. So this is the full process. You can go through a stack like this and burn like this much if you so choose. And then if you're going to do to different aspects or different parts of your lineage, just make sure you burn for that lineage and then put it in the baggie before you go to the next lineage, because they might need to go to separate places. So if you burn to the ancestors of the Atlantic crossing, and then you try and burn for your direct family lineage, and then you might want to burn for, I don't know, people that passed in, during Hurricane Katrina, if you want to help some of their tortured souls, you have to burn separately and then bag them separately so you know where those ashes will go for each set of ancestors or people that you are uplifting and working with. So I hope that made sense to you. Please do leave me any comments below, or if there's other aspects to burning joss paper that you'd like more information on. And thank you very much for watching this video. Again, I will link the original How to Burn Joss Paper and Why video link below so you can have that. And please do check out some of my other videos. I do a lot of pick a card reading so that you can get some assistance and guidance with certain questions. And I have a brand new yes/no one, so you have your own question and you just pick a card to get your answer. So I do hope you enjoy this. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the likes, the shares, the comments. I've been getting some great comments lately. And do come back. Thank you. Bye-bye.